Garlic bread is so easy to make with these garlic cheese stuffed biscuits.
These absolutely look great. They look fancy. They're really just garlic cheese biscuits. See how easy these are to make with my 2-ingredient biscuits. Okay, now this recipe, your guests are going to think you really did something complicated when it's really actually pretty easy. Now I'm starting out with a cup of self-rising flour. I'm only making half the recipe here, but you can certainly double it. Now what makes this really super simple is all I need to add to it is some heavy cream. Now I want to start out, since I have a cup of self-rising flour, I want to start out putting about half of this in, and then we'll see how much we need from there. The thing about making biscuits, depending on the humidity, your flour, you never can just say exactly how much you need. It's always about. So I'm just going to pour enough in there to make a ball. Now I don't want it too dry. Put just a little bit more. And since I'm using self-rising flour on my board, if I get a little too much milk, I'll just add some more flour. Now I put parchment paper on my working surface. Now I wet the table with water and then put my parchment paper down, and that helps my parchment paper to stay down on the table. Okay, let me just get quite a bit of flour on here. I don't want it sticking. And I'm going to knead this 4 or 5 times. Okay. Get this floured up and start rolling. Now you're really going to roll this thin. Now you can see this is really, really thin. I mean, it is as thin as pie crust. Now next, I forgot my biscuit cutter, so I'm just going to use this canning jar lid ring and just start making some circles. Now for each of these biscuits, I'm going to need 3 circles. And if you have some edges that aren't completely round, that's okay. And I'll show you why. Now I've noticed as I've been doing this that my dough in the middle is a little bit thicker than what it is on the edges. So I'm just going to give it another little roll. As you can see, I've got dough left over, so I'm just going to kind of combine these back together. Now I'm taking my little circles, wetting the edges. Now this isn't completely round, so I'm going to put it in the middle. And do my next one. Now I want these to have just a little bit of cheese in them, but not so much that they won't roll. And as you follow me, you'll see what I mean. So I'm going to use some Parmesan cheese. Now this could be Mozzarella, this could be Cheddar cheese, but it needs to be shredded pretty fine. And I'm just going to put a little bit on here. You don't want to put too much. And then for the magic, I'm going to bend it over like that. And then roll. Kind of with the edges. And you can see how I've made this little flower shape. I'm going to kind of bend the edges a little bit to get more of that rose. You can see what we have. You may be thinking, where's the garlic? That will come last. Okay. Now, I'm going to put these in a little muffin pan. I'm going to spray these. Now, the reason I didn't use butter, because butter tends to brown too easily. And with these being rolled up like this, they take a little longer to cook. And I did not want them getting raw in the middle. Okay, now these are ready to go in the oven. I've got my oven preheated to 400 degrees. And it's really going to be, 12 to 20 minutes. Okay, now while my biscuits are baking, I want to start on the garlic butter. I'm going to start with half a stick of butter. Get this melted. Now you could, use a combination of olive oil and butter, just olive oil, just according to your taste. Okay, I'm crumbling up a little oregano to add in this. Of course, I'm taking it off the stems and crumbling it up pretty small. It's much easier when you're using herbs. Sometimes fresh herbs is what you need, but if you really need them in tiny pieces, you really need them dry, and that way you can really crumble them up. Now my butter is just kind of melting away. I want to add, you can tell we eat a lot of garlic, the size of my jar of garlic powder. I'm going to add 2 teaspoons to that. Then my crumbled up oregano. As soon as this butter gets good and melted, I want to just take it off the heat and just let it hang out till the biscuits are ready. Well, these were ready, really ready in about 12 minutes. So let me get them out of there, put them on this plate. Now don't those look yummy? But we're not through yet. Okay, let's just cover these little things with a lot of garlic butter. These little rows in here, you can really get a lot in there.
Just look at all these little extra rows you made that'll just hold that much more garlic butter.
Now, are you ready to just wow your guests with these wonderful garlic butter biscuits?
Like, subscribe, and share so you don't miss these easy to please homemade recipes.